Cool. We're getting ready for another league with Amulet. If you want to check out the first league from today's stream, you can do so in the link that you're going to find in the description of this video. And yep, we're playing this version right that you see right here on screen. There are some potential changes that I might want to make, but for now we're just going to go ahead and fire it up again. Again, I forgot to restart my record. Classic move. Don't worry about it. Don't look at it. We're fine. All right. We've been playing against a ton of hate. Like we've been playing against a ton of hate in this very first league that I played, but the deck is strong. Deck is quite strong. I'm still kind of familiarizing myself with the play patterns that this list creates and enables, particularly when it comes to like Dryad math. I think that this is a mulligan. So turn on the draw, turn 3 Dryad into turn 4 into a potential turn 4 Titan. I don't even have a guaranteed turn 4 Titan. Yeah, I'm just gonna ship it. This seems better and worse at the same time somehow. I'm gonna keep it though. And I think I'm gonna bottom the pact. But this is a hand that has a lot of potential. Like if I find the bounce land, I can turn 2 Azusa into turn, and then I'm just missing a Titan. Is there anything other than playing around Python Needle for fetches with different names? No, that's exactly the reason. That is exactly the reason, and it's technically correct to do so. Tober Fosh, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Tober Fosh. Really appreciate the support. The 20th. That's so many subs. Really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Feels good to be back. All right, second bounce land. It's not the best thing ever, but could be worse. At least I can play Azusa and continue developing my board here. Yeah, well, we couldn't have played around this. All right, was not expecting Lightning Bolt. It doesn't really matter though, because my last card is a Dryad. It's not another Azusa, so. All right, so we're playing against probably like some Temur deck of sorts. So let's play this. Then let's play this. Let's play another one of these. Pass the turn. Technically correct, the best kind of correct. That's a fact. That is a fact. We're gonna get Bloodmoon here. I'm having flashbacks, yeah. Was he wrong to not lead on Garenbrig last turn? It wouldn't have mattered. So we're gonna start here. See what my opponent does. Nothing is what they do. I kind of do want to play around Mystic Sanction. The what's the name of the card? Oh, this is great for us. This is amazing for us. We trade Quaddle, but now we get to resolve Primetime. Opponent packs it in. Sure. Okay. All right, so we want Beast Withins. We definitely want these two. We might want some of this as well. No need for this. Yes, need for this. Yes, need for these. And this one. Probably don't want dismembers. Don't want Pact. Don't want Bog. Don't want Ghost Squatter. Don't want Scouts. One Pact can go, one Amulet can go. I want to see a little bit more of my opponent's deck, and I might want those Gusts back in there. We're gonna see. The last turn, thank you for the follow. OP kept 7. I think I keep this. It's a slow but very interactive hand. We are very much covered against Moon. My opponent can't run onto, which is good. And I'm going to Once Upon a Time here. And the reason for Once Upon a Time in there is that I could have found like a Tulare West or an ETB tapped blue source to hold up negate onto. I think I'm gonna go with a Prime Time. Lonely Sandbar. Boy, I would really love to find. That's not it. I don't think I can go to this card though. So what I'm hoping for here is for my opponent to Blood Moon me. That would be the best case scenario. Like if they Blood Moon me here, then I'm just super far ahead. Ashiok here would be kind of a beating though. So please Moon me OP. Ugh. Okay, that's a reason to have Bojuge Bog in my deck. That's another reason to have Bojuge Bog in my deck. Nice. That's a great draw. I mean, any untap line would have been a great draw. That's what I meant. I guess I don't want F6 because I might, like this time around, I actually might just go ahead and dry it and force a moon. What is this? Bloodbraid Elf into Renantix. Okay. Of note, Quaddle is not Death Touchy yet. No blocks. Take the damage here. Because if we find any length, Alpine Moon, you got it. Gruul Turf. Do we care about this Alpine Moon? I don't think we care about this Alpine Moon. It's the bad moon. Yeah, I know. Do we care about this? So the only reason I could see caring about this is that it allows me to Dryad and Haste and kill these Renantix. I think that's fine though. I think I'm just gonna untap. Another Primetime sucks. Attack Ren. I think I'm just going to play another Dryad here. Now I'm considering forcing on my opponent's end step. Sure, another Misty. Attack with Bloodbraid. Yeah, I probably don't want to attack with Bloodbraid. Another Alpine Wind, sure. Cavern of Souls. Okay, so I'm going to attack with both at the Ren. See what my opponent does. We can trade here. Guess Ren goes down to 1. Okay, it's cool. And I play Castle, and now I'm going to 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna Sage. Blowing up the one naming Gruul Turf. Torben Fuck, you need to join my Discord. That's the link right there. And then you need to, after you join the Discord, you need to link your Twitch and your Discord accounts, which you can do going to settings. And then once you do that, then you need to wait for up to 2 hours. And that should be it. So they're going for this line. So I'm going to negate this. So now Sage resolves. What do I blow up though? Let's blow that one up. Okay, so Tarn and Misty are the known cards. They play Tarns. Okay, so just Misty. I just know about the Misty and nothing else. Attack Ren, attack Ren. So next turn, I can basically force my opponent to have 2 cryptics. Making away from TG for 2-3 weeks so you can basically disable it or still. No, I'm not. I've also been out of Magic for 2 weeks. So, all right, Mystic Sanctuary, putting cryptic on top. Sure. Astrolabe. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. So in response to Dendroid that cryptic, I'm going to cast Destroying this and this. right. Definitely mis-sideboarded for this matchup. Not having access to Bojuki Blog is kind of a big deal. Basically, my 2 ways to get out of the Mystic Sanctuary lock, my 3 ways of getting out of the Mystic Sanctuary lock are in my sideboard. So I clearly misboarded very, very poorly here. That's a Tireless Tracker. They already played land, though. Try it, try it. Cryptic. Yeah, I definitely sideboarded very, very poorly. I just was not aware of what my opponent's deck is doing, right? So obviously my sideboarding was pretty awful. Sure. So 1, 2, 3. I'm 1 minute short. Feels bad, man. Yeah, they tapped out, which is not great for them, but I can't punish them. So they probably have a second Cryptic in hand. And they don't have another Mystic Sanctuary because that was definitely a good turn to make sure that they can Sanctuary. Okay. Ashiok. Gust. Um. Sure. I am pretty confused about this. Sure. Both Valakits are gone. Okay, cool. Alright, cool, cool. So, 1, 2. Let's do this with red floating. Haste this. I think I'm actually gonna swing all that Ren. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have actually taken my chance to clear the Ashiok. No, I couldn't have, right? Because I would have needed to use my mana there. And then I wouldn't have had enough mana to cast the Titan, so I couldn't have done that. Gust again. Uh, I put it on the bottom because there's no point in forcing the Sashiok trigger. Why do they not Gust and Draw Step? I don't know. My opponent is making some weird plays. Yeah, I think, I mean, the most problematic thing is how poorly I sideboarded, because I am not familiar with the deck my opponent's playing, right? So if I knew what my opponent's doing, this match would have been much easier, because I would have bogged my opponent there. So we only have one red source. Zombo. Oh, they have Bolt. It's actually pretty good for me. Stay Bolt my Cinderglade. My opponent's playing Cinderglade in their deck. That's funny. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be able to clear the Ashiok. I still think that Rent might be more problematic than this Ashiok is. I mean, the key card here is Stylish Tracker, right? Like, this is the one that's killing me. It's not the other ones. People out here playing Cinderglade and questioning my 9 mana drops. Yeah, my opponent has been making some weird plays. Bloodbraid Elf into Scred. Sure. I kind of like what my opponent's doing over there. That seems like a fun deck to play. Definitely, I'm gonna sideboard very differently for game 3, knowing what their deck is about, right? Like Bujuki Box coming back, Ghost Quarters coming back to prevent locks. Another Bloodbraid. Mismatching Bloodbraids at that. It's brutal. We're looking really good in my opponent's deck. We're looking very good in my opponent's deck. Yeah, I don't think I can win anymore. I'm just gonna pack it in. Alright, let's sideboard properly now. So, Bujuki Box coming back in, Ghost Quarters coming back in. Still don't think I want Dismember, but I definitely want Aether Gusts. Cavern of Souls seems very good. Radiant Founder seems very medium. Definitely want all scouts out against the Red 6 deck. Ura looks good in my opponent deck. You mean by foil for foil Uras? I mean, honestly, Ura looks very good, even on Legacy. So I could see, Ura being like foil Uras, especially like the full art or whatever. I could see those being a pretty solid investment. Like I'm not so interested in Force and Vigor after seeing what my opponent's deck is about, right? Like I'm not expecting Blood Moon anymore. So this card becomes way more exciting, and this card becomes way less exciting to me. Let's try again with something like this. Why am I not playing Tech Edge anymore? Because I'm playing other cards instead. Yeah, I don't think sounds very good. We can do better. Okay, we keep and we bottom the pact. You mean the opponent's deck? I can see that. Yeah, it does look pretty slow. Yeah, that's basically like we skipped our draw step right there. Opponent kept a one lander. Woof. I mean, I'm only human, right? Well, I guess I'm just gonna Dryad here. I was considering beasts within my opponent's land, but just like playing now the Dryad there, it's probably just better. Because now I can cast Titan here. Now they were on the draw and they kept a one lander with no cantrips. That seems so greedy to me. Alpine Moon. Sure. My opponent's really all about this Alpine Moon nonsense. I'm sorry, chat. I just couldn't help myself. I just couldn't help myself, chat. I'm sorry. I tried. I tried, chat. I tried, but I couldn't do it. Wait, what? One, two, three, four, five, six. Huh. This is very interesting. So Alpine Moon is taking. Yeah, it's making it so Simic Ghost Chamber is not a mountain. Wait, what? How does this interaction work? Hmm. That is very, very interesting. It's timestamps. No, apparently it doesn't work like that either. Because that's what I was trying to do. But it's actually probably the timestamps with the Dryad, not the timestamps with the land. Right? So the Alpine Moon entered after the Dryad was in play. So it actually stopped the Semi-Ghost Chamber from being a mountain thanks to the Dryad. So that means that it doesn't trigger. Yeah. Very interesting. I definitely had not seen that coming. Like, clearly I didn't because I went for that line, right? But huh, interesting. Well, I guess the more you know, right? The more you know. Very cool. Very cool interaction. Can I say that? Yeah. So basically, I had my Dryad was already in play, right? And then my opponent played an Alpine Moon. Alpine Moon means that all lands lose all abilities, and they just tap for 1 mana of any color, right? So one of the abilities is that lands are every basic land type in addition to their other types. Metal 22, thank you for the follow. So that is what happened. So effectively, what happened is like that is not a thing anymore, right? Like the fact that it's a mountain is not a thing anymore. So Valakut doesn't trigger because it only sees 5 other mountains, which is strange, but I guess it makes sense. All right, how do we like this hand? There are things that I like and things that I don't like. Things that I like include the fact that I'm on the play, I have an amulet, and I have a once upon a time and a titan. This is basically a mulligan because of the Pact of Negation, but I'm thinking that this might be an okay hand on 6 anyway, right? So I think I'm gonna keep it. What I want to hit off of this once upon a time is either a bounce land or one of the ramp creatures. Because I have 7 bounce lands and only 8 ramp creatures and 12 ramp creatures, sorry. I think I'm going to prioritize getting a bounce land over a ramp creature if I see both in this once upon a time. Put most of 5. In before request for video on Dryad, Timestamp, Slayers, and a bunch of other cards examples. I mean, honestly, I'm not that familiar with that either. I'm not a judge, so I'm kind of like learning as I go. As you just saw, right? Like I totally assumed that it was going to work out the way I intended it to, but that was just not the case. All right. Semi-Gross Chamber. That's exactly what I was looking for. Any ramp creature now should be very, very good for us. Yeah, I mean, as soon as my opponent moves to 5, I expect Neo Brand on the other side, but seems like that's not the case. Shadow deck? Oh no, that also makes a lot of sense actually. No crab though. Well, that's hot. That's real hot. I guess it's better for me to bounce the forest here actually. Yeah, because my opponent very likely does not have removal. And I can still cast Titan next turn, except I'm casting Titan with 4 lands in play, which means that the Titan is going to trigger Valakut now. Because of Castle, I can still cast a Titan now. Yeah, so I'm not going to block here. Because I don't want my opponent to mill 3. Sunburn. Yeah. So they glimpse themselves. They get 1 chill. Vengevine. Yeah, this should be game over right here. Unfortunately, Amulet doesn't help me here. Again, as I explained at the beginning of the stream, the power of double Amulet is hindered considerably because of the presence of, like, because of the way that we build our deck right now. This should still be very, very much lethal, so I'm not particularly concerned. Gonna get Valakut plus battlements. Valakut you, Valakut you. Trigger, trigger. And you see why I bounced the forest last turn, right? We would not be triggering Valakut if I had bounced my bounce land. see a soy seal. My opponent says I'm pretty sure I'm dead, but I haven't seen this yet. I'm like, sure, you can get comfortable, opponent. Should I go for max? Oh yeah, we're gonna go for maximum. Boom. Devastador. Alright, so we want field. We want answers to Ashiok. I don't think I want answers to Damping Sphere though. Definitely want answers to Ashiok. But it's pretty bad. Jigbog is excellent. Ghost Quarter is horrendous. Check out my McCullum's Erupted in your face violently. That sounded way less awkward in my head. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. Yeah, that was turn 3, Delirious Wave. Hey Fran, do you ever do streams in Spanish? I don't really. It's just that, English is much more inclusive because way more people speak English than they do speak Spanish. I could do if somebody wanted to do like a donation stream or something like that. I'm not opposed to streaming in Spanish by any means. It's just it's overall like it's overall worth less my time than streaming in English, obviously, for obvious reasons. All right, so how do we want to sideboard in this match? And the accent is awesome. Thank you, cuter Crasher. I appreciate it. This doesn't seem very good. This doesn't seem very good. I could see Spell Pierce on the draw. It's slightly tempting. I want my fields, I want my forests. Guess I might not want my bog, my cavern. Turn 1 greensword for scouts is pretty important though. Shave 1 Valakut. Yeah, I'm gonna shave 1 Valakut. 1 Valakut, 1 Summoner Spect. Not solo this Summoner Spect, but I'm running out of time. I want to move to 6, but I don't think this hand is good enough. I do think this hand is good enough though. I'm gonna keep and I'm gonna ship the beast with it, I think. Pony goes down to 5. They keep. Alright, turn 1 crab is, of course, pretty good for them. Okay, so we don't take damage on 1, that's nice. Next turn we get to double spell. Supplier. Alright, hopefully no Vengevine here, that's good. No second land? Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, we're kind of done here. Well, I guess I still need to draw a threat, right? I still don't have access to a threat, so... Can you imagine how good Force of Vigor would be here? I'm not playing around it, but that would be hot, right? Force of Vigor. Kill your Dryad and your Amulet. Whew. tengo amistades que quisieran aprender un poco sobre el deck y no dominan inglés. Quería ver si hago algo para ellos. Oh, sí, no, no hay problema, Gexpert. No, o sea, si cualquier persona me hace alguna pregunta o qué sé yo siempre respondo en español. Si me preguntan en español. Pero sí, es una de esas cosas que no me... O sea, tiene mucho más sentido para mí streamear en inglés que en español, por razones obvias. Alright, so I think I am going to kill the crab on my opponent's upkeep. Alternatively, I can kill their land on their upkeep, but would you consider Force of Vigor in the mirror for this sort of draw? Yeah, I think that, yeah, for sure. I mean, Force of Vigor and Dismember actually became significantly better in the mirror since this card became so important in the mirror, right? Having answers to this is actually quite important. Yeah, no, I'm taking my time here because I actually think that this is really worth the argument. Like, do we destroy the Watery Grave or do we destroy the Hedron Crab? I'm certainly going to be doing that. Either one of those things on my opponent's upkeep. So that part is straightforward. Now, which one is the line? Because if they draw a land, let's imagine that my opponent draws a land. That would be their best draw. If they draw a land, if I destroy the Water Grave, that means that if they have any of their 2-drops, which is well, I guess that if they don't draw a land, if they do draw a land, then they can't trigger Vengevine, even if they trigger Crab. So I guess I sold myself on destroying the Water Grave. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna destroy the Water Grave here. Amulet Ponza. Even before Amulet Ponza. We've been stone rained enough. It's time to show them how it's done. This is for all the Ponza players out there. I think that now I actually do block this teacher supplier if my opponent attacks. Because now there's actually a few things that they can... Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Clearly should have killed the Hedron Crab. That triggers Amalgam. Yep. Prime time? No. So we just keep on staring at each other here. I recommend drawing a bog. Yeah. I think I'm gonna trade with the beast here. We have another Azusa, so we don't care about this one dying. We're gonna take 7 this turn. All right, there we go. One. Two. 3. Haste. Kill ya. Suva. Jukabog. Bog you. This. 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 And this. Play my first summon ever with Amulet, went 2-2, lost to Prowess and Yawgmoth. The Yawgmoth matchup, I think it's actually pretty bad for Amulet. And I don't think there's much to be done about it, to be honest with you. The Prowess matchup it's actually beatable. Basically, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are taking care of their creatures. Caleb with the raid, thank you so much. Welcome everybody coming from Caleb's stream. We're playing some Amulet here. Sirpai99, thank you for the follow. We're playing some Amulets, and we're just trying things out. I have not been streaming for 2 weeks now, so I'm trying to play some games, catch up a little bit with where the format is going. We've been playing against some pretty sweet decks, actually. We even faced Mill somehow today. But yeah, we played against a Rug mid-range deck, which was pretty sweet with Uro and Red and 6 and whatnot. It was pretty cool. We're playing Landstorm, pretty much, right? We just play multiple lands instead of casting multiple spells. It's basically the same deck. I haven't had much difficulty versus Youngman in the past month, but I guess I've gotten really lucky. Yeah, so basically we have very limited interaction. Definitely Dryad makes that matchup much better than if we did not have access to Dryad. That is just a fact. However, I don't think it makes it good enough, if that makes sense. Like I still don't consider the matchup to be positive by any means. We're gonna keep here. I'm going to scout on 1, and then we can dry it on 2. Seeing, I think I'm gonna take my time, and I'm not gonna hurry up too much with this hand. Yeah, so exactly. So now we can cast Dryad here and not play the Tolaria West, because we can use. I can wait 1 more turn, and if we draw a bounce land, we can set up for like whatever we need, right? Well, I was not expecting that. All right, so get wrecked. We get absurdly wrecked here. Great, so blue, and 1. I was expecting to be playing against green Tron, not this Tron. Getting obviously grossly punished. That's fine. We can play around Chalice on 0, which is nice here. Oh, it's this deck. Oh, all right. All right. Can we please draw a land? Oh, piece at 12. So if we draw any land, thanks to Valakut plus bounce land, this Titan is going to be lethal, I think. Because they're going to be taking 5 plus... they're going to be taking 5 plus 3 land drops. 4 land drops, sorry, because of the scout. So we're fine here. Classic. Classic. God damn it. I could have packed it for another Dryad, but that doesn't. I can still do that next turn, and I can present lethal. And if I do that, and then my opponent does something to like gain life or whatever, and I don't. And I need to pay for my pact on my next upkeep. That means I can't Titan, and I'm actually in a really, really rough spot. Okay. Cornucopia. All of this is fine. All right, so I need to draw any land at all. Any land at all. Damn it. $30 lands, not enough, huh? It's Karn the non-win con. Well, it's definitely a win con for them over here. Certainly I stand corrected, right? Because if I had gone for that play last turn, I would be presenting lethal here. But because I didn't, because my opponent would be at 5, and I would be attacking with one more Dryad and the Scout, so they would block here, and I would still take 5, which would be lethal. That's brutal. I mean, I have 30 lands in my deck, right? I think it was fair to expect that I was going to get there. I can't make that play anymore because my opponent can go get it's not lattice, it's the liquid metal coating. So I think I just have to pass here. Yeah, explosives doesn't do anything because there's a card in play, and my opponent has infinite mana. So I could see just being dead here. Paradox Engine, yeah, I think I might just be dead. They can just go off. Wow, I really whiffed hard here. I'm just gonna have 6, whatever. Yeah, so I think I'm just dead. Feels bad, man. Any land that I would have won this one easy. I guess they're technically not guaranteed to kill me because they don't have that much life. And Mystic Forge, anytime they want to redraw, it takes. So they can still whiff here. It's not likely, but it could happen. If they get stuck with like multiple lands, like every time they have a land on top, they can get stuck there. Now with the Karn, it's looking less likely than ever, and now with you again, even less so. No, because they can still have 2 lands. They can have 6 lands on top, right? If they have 6 lands on top of their deck, they cannot keep going with Mystic Forge, right? Because they cannot exile the top card of their deck because they only have access to 5 life. It costs them life to use the tap ability. So it's not deterministic just yet. But my opponent doesn't seem to be within. Because eventually they're going to minus and get Ballista, but they don't have. They need 40 mana, which they don't have yet, right? So it's very, very close to deterministic at this point. And I'm probably just dead anyway, just like the chances of my opponent whiffing here are very, very small. But you see, that was an Ursus Tower right there that they needed to exile. Depends if they have Etherflux inside. If they had Etherflux, they would have already used it, right? They would have already minused Karn to get the Etherflux Reservoir. So I'm assuming that they don't have it. But I think they might just have gotten there, though, in terms of the amount of mana. Yeah, so at this point, I think I should be dead. They have 26 plus 9, that's almost lethal. They should make it lethal. Don't you miss versus circle? I mean, there's always going to be situations where one is better than the other one, right? Alright, so here they're playing a bunch of mana for Ballista. When they show me the Ballista X equals 20, I'm just going to concede. I'm not going to make my opponent click a million times. It felt really bad to lose that one, though. Like, I felt like I was in a fine spot. But I just whiffed on land for 5 turns. Considering that I transmitted the Solar West for land, and it still didn't get there. Yeah, okay, that's enough. Bringing 8 Force of Vigor. I mean, we're bringing this, and these. Taking this out. Bringing this one in. Probably not the Spell Pierce, but definitely the other ones. Bajiki Box is completely irrelevant. Cavern of Souls is completely irrelevant. Tribe Scout seems pretty bad. I think I'm gonna be doing this. E is fine. I mean, it's not fine when your opponent has 4 cards in their deck, and they built their deck in order to maximize card, right? This hand is not good, so I'm gonna ship it. This hand also not very good. Certainly better, but certainly not good. Put him most to 6. Can we do better than this in 5? I think this is a fine 6, actually. We're on the play. We might get caught by a Chalice on 0. That's the only thing that kind of worries me a little bit. Castle is pretty gas. Yeah, Castle's great here. Search node. I just continue skipping draw steps here. Feels bad, man. So if my opponent doesn't go off right here, then I think I might be in a good spot. Because I can hold up negate for whatever the next play is. Alright, yeah, that's pretty good. So Summoner's Pact for prime time. Cast prime time. I'm gonna get Semi-Growth and Gemstone Mine. Bounce Gemstone, replay. So now we're holding up negate. Do I want to play this out or not? Is the question. So I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get Tolerated West because it doesn't do anything because of the Pact. Because the Pact is here. And this Titan is already good enough to win this game. So it's a matter of, do I want to like go get Ghost Quarter and copy the Ghost Quarter? I don't think I do. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna copy this here. Just to have more mana next turn. Back to Negate. Yeah, Negate's good. Negate's solid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Beast Within is pretty hot. Sure. Put a charge counter, whatever. So I'm going to destroy the Ursa's Mine on upkeep. So I'm trying to make sure that I can set up lethal for next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, Field of Dead plus a bounce land. I guess it's going to be the line here. I'm going to run for him. I'm going to start the zombie train here. I mean, I'm honestly not sure my opponent can play around this negate. Right? I think this is just it. No lands for you. Astral Cornucopia, you got it. That's fine. Still fine. Surge Node, still fine. Still fine. What you got? They're literally dead on board. So they have to go for it right now. Just put Furbies within and become the real Ponza, yeah. I think just gonna call this. Alright, game 3. Anything I want to change? Not really. I think that's the only thing I want to change. Opponent kept 7. So turn 1 amulet. That's it. Can probably do better in 6. Sure. Negate or explosives? It's going to be one of these, the one that's going to go. So do we want to negate or do we want explosives? Negate is going to be better with the Dryad. Explosives is going to be better if my opponent has one of their extra. We can cast explosives. Yeah, I think we just bottom negate here. We get wrecked by a Karn, an early Karn. But all right, that's not what I wanted to see. We want to see a bounce land here. If we draw a bounce land, I think we're very likely to just win this game. I think that's enough for me to blow it up. Just trade 1 for 1 there. What is the reason behind Nether Gust? Gust is really good against Titan decks, obviously. It's really good against... yeah, this is... 30 land deck. It's really good against opposing Titan decks. It's really good against Blood Moon. It's really good against... it's just an answer to a lot of things. It's good against red decks and stuff. Yeah, just gonna die to never finding a land. Feels bad, man. Is double force correct in negotiation to second Bailoth in the board? Yeah, I think double force is better than Bailoth. We need an Ionic 30 land deck emote. I mean, we have the equivalent, which is this one. If we draw a bounce, we're still very much in this game, though. Liquid metal coating. Bounce land? Alright. So there's still a chance here. Rookie ID1, thank you for the follow. Okay, so we got there. Now we have to think. OC Posey Money, thank you for the follow. So we're gonna pay 3. So this plays as Sousa. Second land. This plays Dryad. Third land. And I have to main phase this beast within, but that's fine. And I think I Beast Within, like my opponent did not have a land last turn, so I think I'm gonna Beast Within the Karn. So the question is, what do we wanna... Yeah, I think we Beast Within the Karn. And my opponent needs to kill both Azusa and Dryad to prevent me from Titaning next turn. I thought not, that's fine. They need Chalice as well. Do they have a separate guide for Valakut version? Not yet. I have not played the Valakut version enough yet. If they do have a Chalice here, then we're in trouble. They don't. Alright, sweet. Prime time. Five, 6. Valakut battlements. No trigger just yet. Wait for it. Easy. Alright, we drew the land exactly in the last possible turn. How we got there? How am I feeling about the fetches right now? I mean, I understand why they are there. They have not been great, honestly, so far. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten a fetch of the primetime trigger, and I've never actually drawn a fetch this entire league and a half that I'm into, that I'm in so far. However, I do think that it's I do think it's correct to play them, I guess. See, we need more caverns. Why? I played MTGO for the first time yesterday. I have respect for you. Your interface is yucky. Oh, you mean the interface of the Moto interface? I think I actually like it a lot, honestly. It does what you like. It's easy to see everything, and it's I don't know. I think that a lot of people just hate on MTGO a little bit too much. I think that it's actually significantly better than Arena. Arena is too, I don't know how to say it. It's too flashy in an ugly way. Moto is what I call ugly but functional. I don't think Moto is ugly. I think it's just fine, right? I mean, we're just trying to emulate the cards. The only like the ugly things that Moto has is like the foil treatment and like the someone is sick animation and that kind of stuff. But it's kind of whatever. Like I don't really care for that. Ugh. So turn 1 T West, turn 2 Amulet plus Scout, turn 3 Asus. Yeah, I guess I keep this. I get a headache playing Arena, same with Hearthstone. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I guess it's just like for different people, I guess. If my opponent's playing a Disco Spell deck, I get super wrecked by playing T West in turn 1 instead of Castle, but I think it's correct anyway. Bought into Green White Titan, trying gets printed, and now it's a Valakut deck. Yeah, it's really funny how that works out. Alright, so we're probably playing against Scape Shift, which is good because we are like Scape Shift, but a lot better. So yeah. And now we have Titan extra thanks to Asusa plus Castle. This interaction is just so good. It's so good. I guess if my opponent has a Lightning Bolt, I actually just die. I guess that there's no need for me to run into it though. I could just play my Asusa here and then just like play Turf twice and see what happens. Like there's no need for me to pact yet. So we're just gonna play Turf here. We're gonna see what happens. If they fetch into Bolt or fetch into Push, I can just... Okay, so we're playing against John though. So here I can... Okay, so Asusa dies. Yeah, I think we just float mana, bounce, play another Asusa, and we Gruul Turf. And before we bounce, we do this. Yeah, I think we get to Dryad. The play patterns have changed. Yeah. So this is probably Liliana. Liliana's gonna minus. Hopefully we find another Asusa. Second Dryad. Well, that's interesting, actually. Dryad. Dryad. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm 1 mana short. Because I can either tap this or I can activate Castle. That's brutal. So this Liliana's gonna get my pact. Ugh, vomit. I don't think there's anything I can do though. I just have to pass. No Maelstrom Pulse, please. Yeah, I can't play around Maelstrom Pulse. Wow, that's insane. Woof. Woof. That's probably a one-off. Ugh. That's insane. That really is insane. God damn it. Okay, so what to do here? I guess I should have played the Semi Growth Chamber there. That was a mistake. So we're gonna discard the castle here. Which version of Titan is the best? I mean, I think there's only one version of Titan. Yeah, this is enough. I guess it's not enough yet. I still have outs. Like I can just draw lands to a point where I have 6 mana and then just naturally draw a Titan. But I need to draw like land literally every turn. And now having Bounce Castle instead of Tolerant West punishes me brutally. Yeah, okay, so now we can't win anymore. I don't think. I basically just have to wait until my opponent plays a clock. That's a clock. Yeah, so we're dead here. I don't think we can win anymore. Yeah, okay. Well, that's very unlikely to happen, but somehow it did, and we died. Feels bad, man. All right, that's fine though. I really wish I could side out the Bile Pit, but I don't think I can actually. Stop saying the things you're making them happen. That's fair. Yeah, but as I was saying, like I don't think I can play around Maelstrom Pulse, right? Because if they destroy my, they either destroy my Dryads or they destroy my amulets. I could have played one Dryad, but then I have to discard the second one to Liliana. It's too much. So this covers red or green. So this answers Goif. This answers. Yeah, I think Gust is fine to bring in. I think Gust is fine. How it's been cool. It's been pretty solid. This is like the nuts against Jund. Sweet. This is like an insane hand against Jund. Gets Croxa and Ren too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that it gets K command. Lots of upside. I feel like Jund matchup is harder than people say it is. I mean, I think that we're favored, but I don't think we're like favored as we are favored against a Tron. I do think that we're favored, however, but not like stupidly favored. We're just pretty favored. All right, this is kind of what I want to see, though. Getting my breeding pool here. Start with this. Valakut is actually kind of nice here. So this means that I can Susa and get full value, which is nice. I think Gen has slowly been getting harder and harder over the past year or so. It's possible. Like one thing that really helped us, however, is the fact that they have been moving off of Bob. Fulminator Mage. Fulminator is fine, actually. Second Fulminator would be annoying, but I think that Fulminator was okay. They might have another Fulminator here, or Stone Rain. Those would be the best options for my opponent. Liliana. Liliana's okay. It's pretty hot. Transmute. Summon Respect. Pass. If they plus, I'm gonna go with Veilov. Mouse from Pulse on the Dryad, sure. This is why I like Baylot so much over Radiant Fountain. So this covers the Liliana, which is gonna die. I guess maybe I should have discarded. Now that I think about it, I should have just discarded and... it's fine. Just tightened. Yeah, that would have been better. Now that I think about it. What is this? Fulminator Mage? Fulminator is good. Is it greedy for me to Beast Within my Growth Turf here, just so I have a 3-3 and I can start, I put my opponent in a 3-turn clock? There's no way that's correct, right? Or is it? Nah, there's no way that's correct. It's very greedy and I'm here for it. Nice. Thanks for the support, Ifeno, but I unfortunately don't think that's the line. However, what I think is the line, though, is to preemptively play e4-2 here. Yep. Remember what I said that the line was to play e4-2 there? So, interesting thing here. I think I'm going to hold this Growth Chamber in my hand, because if I draw Dryad, I can actually present lethal. That's a Tarmogoyf. And by Tarmogoyf, I mean 3-3 Beast. Yeah, there's definitely a case for Simic Bouncing Castle because of another Fulminator Mage. Three Elk, yeah, 3-3 Beast. K command. Okay. My opponent has been top decking very well. They're getting back Goyf. Prime time? No prime time, unfortunately. I can't even double block the Goyf. It's funny. Damping Sphere, sure, you got it. Beast within the beast. Clearly the correct line. We just take 7 here. I think I'm okay with that. They probably draw another Goif. Yep. G's. Opponent has a damping shark, how can I win? Exactly. Impossible to beat this card. Do I want Dismember over Gust? I don't think so. I think I like Gust over Dismember. It also covers Ren, which is nice. Just stop deck the Fulham army? Yeah, for real. Yeah. They kept 7. Can I afford to keep this? So greedy. Keep this. Opponent turn 1 Thought Seizes. Once upon a time into Bailoff. Yeah, opponent has 3 different Argoif. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep this. It's very awkward. Like it's weird what I'm doing here, but next level keep. And second castle, I think it's fine because my opponent is actually likely to draw to destroy one of my castles. All right, that's not bad. My opponent says "wow" in chat. That's funny. Goif. Do I pack for Azusa? I think I do, right? Because next turn I trigger field. I mean, now I don't, obviously, but still. I think it was correct to do that. Blood Braid here is pretty good for my opponent, obviously. Damn it. It's really annoying. That's very, very annoying. Huh, it's a good one for my opponent to not know about. So that's land, creature, instant. Yeah, so that's better to bug them. Best card with best cascade. Yeah, feels bad, man. So we're taking 6 here. Ugh. Should have destroyed the field, opponent. Should have destroyed the field. So we're getting Radiant Fountain. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Radiant Fountain, Vesuva on Bog? Yeah, right? Or Vesuva on... Yeah, I think with Vesuva on Bog, because otherwise my opponent has the out to Maelstrom Pulse. So Radiant Phantom Vesuva, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yeah. Bog myself. Get zombies. No one gets killed by Maelstrom Pulse? Yeah. It's only a one-off, right? Why would I play around the one-off? Blood Braid into Maelstrom Pulse. You're gonna see it. Oh no. Okay. That's good. Bold Face. Okay. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We even have Beast Within. Maelstrom Pulse, my dude. You don't have to play around Beast. You don't have to play around Maelstrom Pulse. Don't play around Maelstrom Pulse. Don't play around Maelstrom Pulse. There's no way they have Maelstrom Pulse. The better player wins. The better player wins. The superior player takes the match. Feels good, man. Play well, get rewarded, etc., etc. Feels real good. And then we look at my opponent with this face. When I repeat my goblin when I play Storm against John, nice. 9 years, Legendary Chaos. 9 years of support. Thank you so much, Legendary Chaos. Welcome back for another year here in the Primetime Stronghold. Helps that I have the superior deck. That's fair. That's fair. John Sowald in this economy. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, it's funny. If my opponent had destroyed my Field of the Dead instead of destroying my castle when they already knew that I had another castle in hand. Um, that game would have been a lot harder, but they didn't. So sweet. Cyber Guide keep on 7 lands, destroy. That's probably like the best thing about that entire match, right? Like the fact that game three keep was the ballsiest, and then I got absurdly rewarded for it. That's just fair Magic. That's just what it is. You just understand what matters and what doesn't, and you mulligan properly. Um, yeah, I guess I'm gonna keep this on the play. This is very likely to be turn 4 Titan on the play. I'm gonna once upon on turn 1 though, because I might find a scout that I can play, which would be nice. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. I just realized this is for the 5-0. That's cool. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Tellurian West here because we can actually transmute this if we have to, because we can find breeding pool off of these wooded foothills. If we need to. That's an amazing draw. Probably the best draw in our deck. And now the next best draw in our deck would be a Cavern of Souls. Mono Blue Tron. I think we're gonna take it easy. There's no need for me to run into a Remand or the other card. And next turn is when I'm actually a little bit more worried because my opponent's going to start casting Thirst for Knowledge. So 1 month ago, when you said that Dryad and Valakut is meme and it suck, I knew that you will be breaking Modern within a few weeks. It couldn't be any other outcome. That's fair. Favo, that's cool. Watch him win and just flex relentlessly on stream. I mean, to be fair, that top deck was hot. Does anybody not agree that that top deck was very, very hot? The South think it was pretty hot. Now my opponent can Thirst, which is a little bit annoying. So I might just run this Azusa just so my opponent doesn't Thirst. Mono Blue Tron aggro, yep. Snapcaster. Key card. Ambush Viper, key card in the Tron matchup. I think I'm just going to transmute for Cavern here. Stifle Bird would be pretty brutal. That's fine. That top deck was planned from the opening. Exactly. On turn 0. I made sure I was setting up for turn 7 to draw the perfect card. It was just tight play. Yeah. So this is how Mono Blue Tron gets ahead, right? When you don't play anything, they're like, yeah, gotcha. Search for knowledge. The good thing is that we're actually looking good here, I think. So if they are like, oh sure, yeah, so I guess it doesn't matter then that's cool because they don't know about this castle, and then that means that I can Titan next turn. So you see that once upon a time that found me the Tularia West was actually kind of a big deal. The good thing is they suck. I actually think that Mono Blue Tron it's actually a better deck than people think it is. I actually played one league back in the day, like a long time ago, like a year or something. I did one stream where I played one league with Mono Blue Tron, and it was actually a lot of fun. They discard the Walking Ballista, which seems smart considering that card sucks against us. I'm gonna take 2 here. And actually what I think happens here is we're gonna play Castle and tap 6 mana and we're gonna Azusa plus Dryad. The only version of Tron I have played was a Sorius Splash B. That's greedy. Sure. Tapping out, eh? Alright, that's good for us. So now we can castle. They only have a single blue mana, so they get wrecked. Unless they have Simian Spirit Guide Remand. Should be looking pretty good here. So I think I'm going to get Valakut and Field here. This means the next turn we can start doing a lot of damage. I'm really late. What do you mean? You mean today for the stream? I'm finishing the second league today. But don't worry, Hatelex, I'm gonna be uploading them to YouTube. Turtle Anti-Cloud Casino Merkle, real man deck. Yeah, for real. Yeah, that deck was pretty sweet. I remember just like blue-white gifts. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun deck. Lots of fun powered, not enough competitive. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Especially today, you know, like Magic has moved way past Blue White Tron. I assume that my opponent is multi queuing, right? Because we are somehow 4 minutes ahead. Maybe they have a very laggy computer. Because I am pretty sure that this player is not new to Magic Online. Stream sniping? I don't know. I have seen no reason to believe that. Every time I find a deck neat or fun, I start to get scared. What do you mean, Gexler? This LSV Smurfs account? I don't know. Yeah, Shock Trooper, I say the Blue Tron Master. I don't know if he was actually the creator of the deck way back when. But yeah, he's definitely the best Mono Blue Tron player around. He used to stream at some point. I don't think he does anymore. But at some point he used to stream. There is actually another Mono Blue Tron streamer. I think his name is Trayon, and he streams on Twitch often. Because I'm probably gonna get run over by something off of Goldfish. Yeah, that's fair. Feels bad when that happens, but that's what it is. Ursa's PP. So should I assume that my opponent has access to Dismember or something like that? Guess we're about to find out. We start here, then we're going to play Dryad, see what my opponent does, because we're going to start playing lands and start triggering Valakut. Still streams. You mean Shock Trooper or you mean Treon? Because I have not seen a Shock Trooper stream in a really long time. But it's very possible that he still streams. The guy who did more was also the group take. I can't remember his tag. Yeah, you're right. Oh man. What's his name? Creator of Mort. Wow, they're just doing this for the scry. Brutal. Yeah, I can't remember the name. Wow, that's brutal. They're gonna remand it by like a trigger. Nice. No, but they might. They might kind of like remand one of my other things. Oh, they do this. We're probably done here. If they have a specifically Dismember, so let's think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 6. 7, 8, 9. So I guess I can second Titan here. And I can also Dryad, because this Amulet's gonna resolve. Yeah, so they could have. They're gonna use this mana, so they probably have Dismember. What I have to figure out now is whether it's better for me to get another Titan, or whether it's better for me to get another Dryad. I think the answer to that question is another Dryad, because they can only Dismember me. So we're gonna do that. Dryad, Pact, for Dryad. Attack. Yes. Valakut. Suva. One here. All the other ones go face. So, yes, 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 yield. That should be lethal. Couldn't even play these other 3 lands from my hand. Feels bad, man. Alright, so mono blue Tron. We want this. We want all of these. We want this, and we want this probably. Maybe we don't want Pierce. Definitely want Cavern. We don't want Radiant Fountain. We probably do want Valakut, even though this is a control deck. They don't play that many. They don't play that many removal spells, so the Dryad is. I'm gonna say that it's pretty likely to survive. This is a matchup where Negate would be much better than Spell Pierce, but I probably still play Spell Pierce anyway. Valakut Graveshot Burn deck out. I like to scream at my screen. Who is the real Burn Master House? Nice, Thorniel. They were scrying to gain 2 draws. That is hilarious. I'm sorry I missed that comment because that's very funny. Scrying to game 2. That's funny. One thing that's important to note of this version is that because we're only playing 7 bounce lands, we probably never ever want to sideboard one of them out, as opposed to how I've been sideboarding with the previous list that we were playing. Why not dismember? Are you not scared of ambush vipers? I can ambush vipers with Beast Within, just Beast Within their Snapcaster. Stop the beat down that way. That's when you're supposed to use the Sakapa emote. Wouldn't run to get Pierce, but I see why one would. It is what I mean. Consideration for Pierce is that when they do play something, they tend to tap out. Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm playing it, right? One thing I might not want is the Scout. Again, we have 8 ramp creatures, so yeah, sure. We're gonna draw into what we need, so it's fine. Beast Within's hot here. So I guess that's what I'm gonna copy with the Vesuva. Chalice for 1, you got it. Bounce land looking very, very interesting here. I think I'm just gonna run an Azusa out. Godsire, I don't even know what that is. Got him. Can we please draw some lands here? That would be great. River of Tears. I guess that's not bad. I think I'm going to end step Force of Vigor. Comes the Thirst. That's fine. Don't really care. Discard an Expedition map. Classic combo deck. I mean, I'm pretty happy that it did not just run out to Beast Within. I'm kind of just like want this to get counter, honestly. If this gets a counter spell, I'm gonna be so ecstatic. Like I literally don't care at all about this chalice. And my opponent doesn't know that. And now if we draw a forest or something, we get to jam primetime with Pact. Make him counter like you really need it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. They put 2 cards on top. That's certainly interesting. So sure. I mean, they kept top, so this is kind of a wasted condescent for them, which is good for me. Next turn, I can slam a Titan with Pact backup, which is pretty sweet. It's important to note that my opponent actually that they did not draw. So like this scry, they topped up the previous condescent, so this scry is basically wasted. Not better to bounce forest so we can keep up Pact. We can't keep up Pact anyway, right? They have a field, so they just field this. Now we can Vesuva copy in the semi-growth chamber. Right, so this Pact of Negation isn't really doing anything. And now they went top bottom. That's weird. Mindslaver. So that's probably a 3/3 beast. So let's think here. 1, 2, 3. Dryad. Suva, copy this. Bounce forest, second land. This within that. And now this Pact of Negation is active. Yeah, feeling pretty happy about how I navigated this game. I think I've been one step ahead of my opponent for the entirety of this match. Academy Ruins is a little bit annoying because that means that we're gonna have to waste this Pact of Negation countering that Mindslaver over there. Unless they tap out for something here. Well, that's amazing for us because we literally don't care about that card. And now we get to freely resolve our Primeval Titan. This is gas. Yes. So we're gonna do another Valakut, and then we don't care about Ghost Glitter, but Ball, I guess is the correct one to pick here. So we're gonna bug them. I'm gonna clear this. Always yes, always yes, always yield. Bog resolves now. Once upon a time. Field of the Dead, you say? Boom. Boom. Hashtag outplays. Incoming flex sequence. Yeah. Oh, you know. If we just choose everything face, we don't get to, get the value from my opponent just conceding instead of, them dying. So it was definitely correct to make sure that we clear their board and we just destroy them in the most humiliating way possible. So that's the line that I was going for, It is the best kind of value, bar none, I agree. Well, there you go. Easy 5-0. Easy 5-0. Yeah, I guess we could have hasted there, I think. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we could have probably hasted there because we had the Dryad already in play. So yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. Easy 5-0. And I guess it wasn't easy. Like somehow today we beat um, Mill, we beat Prowess, we beat Storm. I mean, just hashtag no bad matchups, right? That's basically what it is. With Valakut and bounce the Vesua to get the third Valakut. Yeah. We had lethal without haste. Yeah, that's possible. That's it. I don't remember already. It's possible that you're correct, George. So we had 12 triggers. Yeah, we actually had 21 with Pact of Negation backup. So even if they try to dismember my Dryad, I just packed it and we still have lethal. Yeah, so that would have been the better line, I guess. I mean, there's no way my opponent wins anyway. Like my opponent has literally no outs, even though his dust doesn't do it. So that point, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you're actually correct. You're actually correct, and that is one of the things that I'm trying to get familiar with precisely. Right? It's like now the math that we have to do is a lot different than it used to be, right? Because we have to make sure that we count the proper number of land drops, and we also have to make sure that we count the proper land number of lands that we have in play. Which actually this actually happened, right? Like I can't remember which match it was, but we played a match where it was important for me to make sure that I cast a Titan with 4 lands in play, and in order for that to happen, I actually needed to bounce a non-bounce land and get the bounce land out of my hand, which is pretty counterintuitive considering the normal play patterns that Amulets requires. So yeah, I mean, I'm still learning about this entire thing, right? I have not played a single match in 2+ weeks, so I'm trying to get back into it. See you, Tron. You'll have a good one. I guess Terry, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Um, I had a lot of cases where I tried to shoot down their board, but then I realized I just put it on face and I would have had lethal. Yeah, exactly. So it's important to slow down when this kind of turns actually happen, and make sure that you're making the correct choices. Um, to be honest, I think that this like battlements Valakut thing again. The way that we're building the deck now, and this goes all the way to the whole deck building standpoint, right? Like so far, uh, this I think is the previous list that I've been very very happy with. Yeah. So in the past we have built the amulet deck. Of course, don't really look at the sideboard, right? In the past we have built the amulet deck in order to maximize amulet, right? Some recent printings like the Dryad and Castle have actually been turning us into a different direction. They have been turning us into trying to maximize Primeval Titan. So using cards like Castle makes Amulet less relevant and less important because we have now more routes to us towards a turn 3 Titan even without the Amulet. And in doing so, we are bringing down our explosiveness, but overall raising our power level and our consistency. So, the way that we're building this version of the deck, we're trying to, make sure that we maximize Field of the Dead. We have, the classic combo finish and all this kind of thing. So here, I would say that in the let's say a list like this really relies on Amulet, right? We are slower. We need things to go our way a little bit harder. So we try to maximize our way of finding Amulet. We build our deck trying to make sure that we see Amulet as often as possible, and then we extract value from that. Then we started moving to a point where we are more of a mid-range deck and more of a toolbox deck and less of that combo potential, right? And finally, we have this version of the deck, which is a little bit in between, though we are making our overall amulet. Um, Not only is our amulet worse, but our prime times are also worse, right? However, when we have this card in play, the power level just goes up exponentially, right? So that is the big difference in how we're trying to how we're building the deck, and the consequences that that has in in our overall deck. So if we have Dryad in play, we're building our deck to be just like uh, in a power level of 10 out of 10, basically, right? If we have Dryad plus Primetime in play with a Valakut, like we're winning that game, basically, bar none. Like we're not losing that game ever, right? There's basically no odds our opponent has. We beat Ensnare and Bridge, we beat like most most stuff, unless it's something like an infinite combo or whatever. We're beating most other things. If the board is clogged, we don't care. If your opponent has like a million zombies from your opposing field of death, we don't care. We just win, right? Because we just go face. However, this means that our amulets are the worst they've ever been, and that also our titans are significantly worse. Needless to say, of course, our scouts and Asusas are also significantly worse because now they can't even provide the random beats that they sometimes provide thanks to Stronghold being activated on them, and they just like just beating down. So especially double amulet in this version is pretty much irrelevant, whereas with the other version is just it's an actual win, right? But if you have double amulet and you don't have a Dryad in play, you just cannot set up lethal, right? You can try to set up a way to like also pack for the Dryad while you're resolving prime times, but that is not always doable, and that is not always the correct line. However, if you do have a Dryad in play, your power level is 10 out of 10. However, you're making your amulets, your non-Dryad draws, which before were a 9 out of 10, now they are a 7 out of 10, right? Because Amulet is worse, because Prime Time is worse, and because we don't have a combo finish. So that is the trade-off that we are going into. However, I feel like if you're trying to build your deck this way in order to maximize when you have Dryad in play, I think this actually makes a lot of sense. If you're trying to maximize having Dryad in play, then you want to make sure that Battlements is in that you're playing Battlements instead of Boros, because you can with an amulet or only with a single mana you can still haste, and you can use Valakut in order to activate Battlements in order to trigger Prime Time instead of being forced to get Boros Garrison, right? So that is definitely a thing for sure. Also, fetch lands. Fetch lands are, even though it didn't come up even a single time today, fetch lands do make your Dryad plus Valakut plus Amulet draws significantly better. Obviously, because you trigger Valakut multiple times in the same turn, and you can even do so at instant speed, which is something that it's very hard for us to do otherwise. Also, you're not playing Sunhome, which if it's not doing your combo thing, Sunhome is a pretty bad land, honestly. So that's actually pretty cool. We get to play like a fetch land instead of a Sunhome, which is significantly better. However, yeah, you're playing Valakut, which is a terrible land unless you have a Dryad in play, and you are incurring in other costs, which is again not being able to set up lethal with a double amulet draw. So you're basically trading off. I actually think there's no way we can turn 2 kill anymore with a list like this. I haven't done the math, but it's probably pretty likely that there's no way for us to turn 2 anymore. I'm trying to go over the permutations in my head right now, and I think that is true. Unless you have like double amulet, Asusa, bounce, non-bounce, Dryad, Titan. That's the way that you can turn 2. So now you need 7 cards to turn 2 instead of turn 1. Yeah. So you can still turn 2, but it's like if it wasn't rare enough before, now it's even more rare. So yeah, as you can see, it's not free, right? This card is definitely not free. But yeah, I mean, there's no denying that the angle of attack that the Dryad allows you to have is very powerful. Like it really is no joke. So yeah, I'm gonna continue testing a list like this. The sideboard, as you can see, it's all over the place. I did like negate a fair amount, to be honest. and I think I liked it in matchups where Mystical Dispute would have been just I wouldn't have brought them in. I think so. Having access to negate is definitely very nice. Aether Gusts were pretty great, so I think I'm going to continue playing one or two. Spell Pierce is the only card. The reason for running Spell Pierce is specifically Neobrand, which I played 2 leagues and I didn't face it even once. So maybe I could just do this switch real quick here and just go with something like that because negate is significantly better than Pierce in most other matchups. A couple of these members seem like a must, and same with 3 Bis Within. I have liked the triple Bis Within a lot actually. I think this card is quite powerful and it destroys the things that we want to destroy, which is the most important thing. Um, even we saw its importance even against John, right? Like when I played against John, we had some like very rare and narrow cases. Even though we brought in the Bis Within against John and against CrabVine because of Vashiok specifically, we still found uses for the Bis Within, right? Like I was still able to destroy the land against my CrabVine opponent to prevent them from triggering Vengevines, and I was able to like blank a Maelstrom Pulse and blank and destroy. What else did I destroy against John? Oh no, it was against John Shadow where I destroyed a Shadow, and then I destroyed something else I can't remember. Dispute over Pierce slot. Yeah, no. So I've been going with negate. So negate has uses in a bunch of matchups where dispute doesn't. Against any version of Tron, you don't want dispute, but you do want negate. Even against Mono Blue Tron that we just faced, I think negate is just better than dispute, right? Because you can negate what's his name, the Mindslaver or whatever, and against the stuff that I was actually afraid of, which is Ad Nauseam, which have seen a very high tick up in popularity. Ad Nauseam and like the version of Ad Nauseam that doesn't play Ad Nauseam, that just plays with Oracle and plays combos off with Spoils of the Bolt. That version of the deck, and also Neobrand. Against all of those decks, you don't really want Dispute, but you do want Negate, and you do want Spell Pierce. So, for me, this is the best version of Amulet. I mean, I'm explaining why they are different. Mana Mystery. They are different. They have different pros and different cons, and they're gonna have like different matchups are gonna be better and worse, right? Because now we have more moving pieces. So if even against something like John, for example, I think this deck is significantly worse against John specifically than the other version of Amulet, because they're probably always going to have removal for the Dryad. Against Blue White, same thing. This version of Amulet is much better than the one that we are accustomed to, because like we have lands that we're changing a land that is literally game winning by itself for a land that doesn't do anything unless you have the other piece of the combo. So against decks that have an easy time removing the Dryad, this version of the deck is actually much worse. Whereas against decks that do struggle to remove it, that sometimes are bad matchups actually, something like Devoted Druid or something like that, this version of the deck is significantly better. Even humans, this version of the deck is so much better against humans than the other one. The other thing that I wanted to say is against something like Storm, for example. I think I like the other version of the deck better than this one because it's actually quite important to kill against Storm and to have the least amount of moving pieces because you want to be able to hold up counter matching and stuff like that. And against in this list, we actually have more moving pieces and we are slower out of the gates than the regular Amulet versions. So I think that this version is actually worse against Storm than the other one is. Notice red decided in wear and tear, which hits Strider Amulet. Yeah, that's fine. it doesn't change anything. Um, what do you think about the list cutting a land and a pact of negation for 2 steerings? I don't like it. I think the steerings is pretty bad for us, especially now. Again, I was talking about like um, all the different deck building restrictions and the deck building costs, and like adding steerings in a deck that, as I was just saying, Amulet is the worst it's ever been in, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I'd rather just have a land, any land. I'd rather have access to 4 basics against all the blood moons running around. I'd rather have access to, like a ghost quarter in the main or an embog in the main to get me out of sticky situations. So no, I don't like it. What do you think of Simic Titan with Ur? I think it's a cool deck. I think it's good. I think it's very very good. I think it's worse than Amulet. Basically, I think that every deck that is playing Titans in a shell similar to this, that is not playing Amulet, it's just worse than Amulet overall. But it's actually, but there's also trade-off, right? Because there's a lot of matchups where Amulet is not very good, so you'd rather have just the medium deck, like against Jund, against Shadow. Against Shadow with the Titan, the Simic Titanfall deck, it just feels like a buy, right? Whereas we actually struggle against Shadow a fair amount. But when you cut all 4 amulets and you play 4 explorers instead, which are the best card in the Shadow matchup, then your deck becomes better. It's just it's just logical, right? I played with this against Storm and it was very very difficult. Yeah, we beat it today, but I think we got a little bit lucky. Last league of today. No, I'm just gonna go have some lunch and hang out with my wife in this President's Day, which is a holiday here in the US. So I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a rehearsal and stuff, so I'm not gonna be able to stream. But on Wednesday I will be back with more amulets. I'm gonna continue, testing cards and working some sideboard and some stuff like that. So you can expect to see me in a couple of days. And yeah, we're gonna keep on doing the thing. Thank you so much if you're watching on YouTube. Thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a good one.